Are you stuck? Turn your worst days into your best days. The only difference, really, between a really amazing day and a not so good day is the story we create around those things. We can choose to focus on the negative or we can choose to focus on the positive. The events themselves are really just neutral. It's the story, the meanings, the words that we attach, and then we either make it negative or positive ourselves. So today I kind of want to go over some methods and some strategies on how to turn your worst days into your best days. So what is the story? The story is the words. Are you using negativity or using transformational vocabulary? And all that means is what way can you change that negative word into something that's more motivating, something that's more positive, something that is beneficial, rather than something that's bringing you down. And then what is your state within that story? From what perspective? And then what are you adding into that story that wasn't really even there in the first place? Because we attach meaning to all these little things within it. So if you change your story, you literally change your life. Because our life from the past perspective is all just the stories and memories we're storing within ourselves. So one kind of phrase that I always kind of loved is, you may have not had a good childhood, but you can remember your childhood well. So you can, no matter what, you can always turn it into something better, even if you had a previously negative story. Because the past doesn't equal our future. Our future is still undecided. So when we live our current moment, what story going forward do we really want to present to ourselves and to others? Because the story we present is also what we attract. So if we're putting out very negativity, misery loves company. You're going to attract more people who are wanting that same negativity, versus if you're putting out that positivity, that abundance, that relationship quality, then you're going to get that back. So very careful on what you're putting out there. And for those who are building something, whether it is a business or a relationship or a family, you can turn all of those, the messes in your life, into something incredibly positive. Because the messes, that the struggle is what really attracts people. So if you take that struggle, package it into a way that you can express your story from beginning to end, to all the struggles, to the realizations, to the learnings, and then arriving on the other side of that struggle, that's a really powerful motivating force. Be it for your kids, your family, your spouse, or a business. So capturing that story is very important too. And the interesting thing about a lot of people will start with a strategy. This is what I need to do for XYZ. And then they'll create a story, and then some may get a good state, but a lot of times the state's completely forgotten. But if you start with state, then work on your story, then work on your strategy, it's a lot more effective. And what do I mean by state? State is your current emotional level. Say negative 100 being super negative, positive 100 meaning super energetic, super passionate about whatever it is you're passionate about, and then willing to take action. With all the negativity in this world right now, we can get caught up in a lot of stuff. But we can also change our own state. And this is get moving. We can state stack. The cool thing about memories is the smells, the sights, the feelings, the location, all of it's super tied together. So we can bring up an old feeling, an old emotion, and then start stacking them on each other. So think about something incredibly powerful that was helpful, that was beneficial, that was happy. You can take that and then Bring it all up. Feel your whole body with it, and then make a motion. Tony Robbins loves the hand out in the air and then making a swish, right? Any kind of powerful move like that transfers that state that you were feeling into a physical action, and then you can replay that. So the state, you think about the state, you feel the state, you transfer it into an action, and you do that enough repetitions in enough different ways, that physical action then represents the state. So you can bring it up with the action rather than having to go through all the exercises, which is super powerful, because if you need that little extra motivational boost or that extra energy boost, say you're going to go on a stage or do a video recording or go talk to your kids, whatever it may be, you can just bring up all that powerful energy. So if you can change your state, also exercise, great way to boost state. Power pose is a really interesting but fun way to kind of build that as well. Then when you're in a good state, you're naturally going to find all the positive things with any situation. Therefore, you can build a better story. And then once you build a better story, then you can take that story and build a strategy of how you want to go about it, leaving that to the end, because if you're not in the good first two places, the strategy is probably going to be less. So when you start off in your morning, if you can create that better state right off the bat, you're going to be more motivated, you're going to be more energetic, and your story is going to stay positive throughout the day, no matter all the little hiccups that may happen throughout it. And that is super powerful, because the story, ultimately, combined with our state, controls our outcomes. And that's kind of where the word breakthrough comes from. It's a moment in time when the possibility or the impossible becomes possible, and then everything changes and we act upon it. So Tony Robbins has an amazing quote: "Never leave the scene of a decision without scheduling in a commitment that guarantees fulfillment." Super powerful. Without that follow-up action, no matter how good our state was, no matter how good our story is, no matter how good our strategy is, if we don't act on it, it's not going to happen. So in that peak state, find a way to immediately take action, schedule it in, write it down, shoot a video, whatever it is for you that makes sense, but immediately take some kind of action, because that locks all of that in, progressing you forward. So I just finished the 7 days with Tony Robbins. It was the Comeback Challenge. And for me, at least, I had massive breakthroughs, both in relationships and mindset and energy and routines. Routines, unfortunately, drive a lot of our behaviors, because we get locked into this kind of static way of doing things. And if you don't know what your routines are and aren't, it can get you into trouble. How to manage your energy. Relationships, do's and don'ts, and why that sometimes relationships get strained. That one to me was really eye-opening. And there's just so much more. I mean, it's hard to even fathom. It was only 7 days worth of content. It's just mind-blowing. But if you like some of my Cliff Notes, I would be happy to send it to you. Send me a message. We can even talk further if you'd like. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Otherwise, happy rest of your day tomorrow, and hopefully this motivates you a little bit to move forward. Love you. See you guys later.